Hey viewers, welcome to another game of the Casual Pro Gamer. Today we're doing the finals of IEM Kiev, and just in case you haven't seen the semi-finals yet, or you want to watch them first because they are not on my channel yet, the official videos haven't come out yet, but I decided to cast the finals live from the stream. Which means that you now have the opportunity to drop out of this video, come back to it later and watch it some other time. So I'm going to give you like 5 more seconds and then we'll switch to the official stream. And that's it. If you're not out yet, then I'm assuming you want to see who actually made it to the finals. And it is TSM versus Moscow 5. We are still at the pick stage, which means that it is going to take a little bit of time for us to get into the game. It's going to take about 3.5 more minutes, because with this replay, no, that's not it, observer mode, you have to wait for 3 minutes to get into the game, and unless they commented that out, or well, programmed that out of the system for tournaments, that is going to be the waiting time we will have to wait as well. So yeah, these two guys are probably going to talk about the matchup a little bit. Yeah, for me the matchup is not so much important. There is a Shyvana on the Moscow 5 team, which in general means they can do whatever they want, because so far they have been doing extremely well counter jungling, and as you can see on their monitors, they are already in the loading screen. I'm not sure if we are in the loading screen, so we'll just have to wait for the video to actually start. But Moscow 5 has been super aggressive here, and yeah, that has been their strength, and I'm pretty sure they will carry on with that. They have been going counter jungle every game. By picking Shyvana and just completely wrecking the opponent's jungle, making sure they get no buffs, they basically get nothing from their jungle, and we will see if that is actually the case here. So apparently the match already started for these guys, and yeah, that's, as I said, we're probably going to have about 3 minutes more to wait. And apparently they are going to jungle invade, because they are clicking like mad, even though the minions haven't spawned yet for them. So hopefully we will see that pretty soon, and they will make an interesting start of this game. So anyway, I was hoping that I wouldn't have to wait for 3 minutes, but yeah, talking for 3 minutes shouldn't be too much of a problem, since most of my videos are around 45 minutes. So anyway, we see, yeah, the Moscow 5 team immediately going for the top part of the jungle. Skarner is also there. He is going to spot them, maybe. No, didn't actually spot them. Yeah, they are going to gang up on this part of the jungle. They are probably going to steal blue buff. As I said, they have been really strong at getting the buffs from the opponents. And it seems that not only Moscow 5 had that ID, yeah, TSM now retreating. It seemed like they wanted to go for the red buff there, but apparently they just wanted to plant a ward, and they are going to run into this bush. Yeah, they have been... Oh no, that was their own clairvoyance going down. I'm not sure whether or not the enemy spotted them, but it seems that at least the red on this team, so on the TSM sides, will be safe. And I wonder if they have any special strategies to go up against this really aggressive Moscow 5 team. Obviously, yeah, TSM is also a really aggressive team, especially their mid laner, Reginald, is really aggressive, and it normally goes for the kill whenever he can, and sometimes when he cannot. So he might overextend a little, and that might cost them. On the other hand, it might give them a big advantage. So it seems the Moscow 5 team once again picked Galio to go mid lane here. And that is an interesting choice because, well, he does have his ultimate, he does have some nice skills, and he can normally farm quite well. But in the early game, he doesn't have that much to go with, and he has gone for boots, which means that he can sometimes dodge the Q from Cassiopeia, but definitely not all the time. And we see Lee Sin coming in, going around the ward. They apparently saw where the ward was planted, and this is going to be the first gank and probably the first kill. Oh no, nice flash from Sona. Even though she did get stunned, she did get hit by the Q from Lee Sin, but the moment she saw Lee Sin coming in, she flashed and she was safe. So Lee Sin wasting a little bit of time there. Although, yeah, I don't know if you can actually call it waste, because he did draw the flash, and that was definitely worth some trouble. So yeah, yesterday we had on the stream a little bit of a show about Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia apparently the highest DPS for an AP champion in this game. The highest AP potential, I guess. And with enough spell vap, she can pretty much stay alive in any team fight, even when she's like 1v3, 1v4. And yeah, she can kill people in a 1v4 situation without dying. So let's hope we can see some nice play out of that. The bans were pretty much against the TSM mid. Cards was banned, and LeBlanc was banned. And well, those are the two champions that are most scary. But then I immediately thought, well, he will just go Cassiopeia, and indeed he did, because Cassiopeia is kind of his backup. It's not his preferred mid champion. That would probably be one of those other two, although Ryze might also be good. But since the Moscow 5 already had as a strategy to go for Galio, I guess that doesn't matter. So the Sona pick was really the first pick, and then the enemy team picked their two favorites, which were Tarek and what's he called? Shyvana. So the two junglers both in top lane. I'm not sure if anything is going to happen here. Yeah, it seems that the Shyvana is this time in top lane. I didn't even notice that until now. But she is actually top lane instead of in the jungle, and Lee Sin is actually jungling, which I obviously already saw, but I didn't really notice it until I realized that they did pick Shyvana first, and apparently they thought Shyvana top against Irelia was a better ID than any other champion, although yeah, Irelia has been countered quite well in other games. I know that Timo pretty much owned her in the semi-finals, although I haven't seen them yet. But yeah, well, that's what they were discussing before this game. So, and this might be the first blood. He is actually going to survive that. That is amazing. Super lucky there that his health lasted that long, and yeah, although, well, there's no luck involved, I guess Reginald should have committed to one more spell or one more auto attack and to ensure the kill, and in this case that didn't really work out for him. Stealing the big raid there, and is going to take the other raids as well. Well, one of the other raids, it seems, and yeah, so mid lane is now doing 49 minions to 37, so he's definitely ahead there. And Galio, yeah, although he's a great counter mid game and late game, early game not so much. Early game it's really hard to go up against these AP carries that have a lot more damage. And a very nice steal there on the big raid. Obviously they do have a ward there, you could see it just then, and yeah, nicely timed. and it is very nice to see that people are playing so well in this final, in this first game of the final. And here goes the first blood, I'm assuming. No, still not. And Lee Sin getting out of there without too much of a problem. And yeah, well, still no first blood. Excellently done. And yeah, Shyvana cannot help it. She has to counter jungle. I mean, it's just what she does. And yeah, getting the wolves. The blue is not up yet. And we will have to see if anything will be done about that. Nope, nobody's going to catch her. And here we see an invasion by Skarner, who is just going to plant a ward. I'm not sure if they saw it, but they know that the team is now going for blue. Their blue will not be up for several seconds because Skarner went for red first, so red will be up, and he is indeed going for that. So top lane, yeah, top lane is 67 versus 67, well 66 I guess, but Shyvana did kill some minions in the jungle, which are, well, maybe worth a little more, probably not though, probably about the same, so I guess it is pretty much the same. Yeah, with Lee Sin in their jungle, they really haven't been able to counter jungle as much, which completely changes the playstyle and makes this a much duller match than the previous ones. But yeah, still a lot of action going off. Shyvana once again going for the wolves. And bottom lane is meanwhile 68 versus 60, so a little bit of an advantage there to Graves, but not enough to make it a real big deal. There is some counter jungling now going on from Shyvana, and Shyvana actually gets the blue, even though she's not even jungling, and she doesn't have smite. There, yeah, you can immediately see she is well, a very strong counter jungler. She can kill the buffs pretty quickly, and this is going to be finally first blood. There we go. Shyvana getting the first blood off because the cooldown reduction is just too good for the enemy team to handle. But then Galio drops as well, but yeah, well, they get an immediate kill back in Irelia. And all in all, yeah, that was a great offensive move from Moscow 5, although they still aren't ahead in gold. They got first blood, they got 2 kills, and still they're not ahead in gold. Well, they're about 300 gold ahead, but that's not really ahead. We would expect much more, since all kills were assisted. That would mean they normally would have 700 more gold, but it is only 300, so definitely not doing too well there. It's not like they're doing badly, but they must have missed quite a lot of last hits or something like that, because otherwise they would have been up by much more. So there is a ward up for the purple team, which is Moscow 5, at the dragon, and it seems there is no ward up for the blue team, and the blue team just happy to pound on this turret for now. And now that these guys are back, oh, nice teleport coming in, and this is a dead Graves. Yeah, the teleport coming in from mid lane. We've seen that in some other games as well. Nice pink ward there. They put a pink ward there to ensure that they could take out the enemy ward. They took it out, and now they have full control or full vision over and control over that vision for dragon. The enemy team cannot see anything that's happening, and they pick up their first dragon, because with the bottom laner down, there is nothing the enemy team can do about that. The only thing they could do is just, well, continue the lanes and pressure one of the other lanes, so top lane for example, but there was nobody in top lane to pressure it. So, yeah, TSM really losing a dragon for nothing there, and now they are ahead by about 1500 gold, which makes it a lot more important, or well, makes their advantage a lot more substantial. And well, we will see that they will actually either lose that advantage or they will build on that advantage. But it will probably not stay the same, because one of the two teams is going to do something aggressive at any moment to make sure that they either get a bigger advantage or get less of an advantage. Oh, 2 pink wards here. That is really interesting. And both of them get taken out, I think. Not actually sure, but the shield from what's his face? Lee Sin actually makes the killing the wards a 5-hit job instead of a 3-hit job, which may have saved their pink ward, but no, it seems that there is still a blue ward in the bush, and that means that the Lee Sin shield wasn't enough to keep it alive. And yeah, well, that is a good deal for the blue team. Obviously, pink wards are worth about 1/3 of a kill, depending on whether the kill is assisted or not. 1/4 if it's an assisted kill, but still, that's a big amount of money. I mean, if you get pink wards, if you take out a pink ward, you basically win 150 gold for your team. And yeah, if you take out a green ward, that is 100 gold. And both of them are really important to do early game, but also late game. Late game, avoiding the vision, or well, blocking the vision of your opponents is really important. And yeah, we've seen Shyvana counter jungling quite a bit here, and yeah, they are actually going to lose this Lee Sin here, but he does have to use flash. He did steal the red buff, obviously, and now they steal the blue buff as well. This counter jungling is so effective, and it has been all tournament, so I wonder why they didn't ban this very strong counter jungler that is Shyvana, because Shyvana has been the problem all tournament, and a really nice ultimate there from Galio, blocking everyone from chasing the Shyvana. Shyvana gets out alive, but they do lose one champion. This might be the second one. Cassiopeia is going to get out of here, I'm assuming, and there is no ultimate on Skarner, so Galio is going to be safe as well. The slow's not really going to hold him in place at any point. He does have Mercury strats, and that is apparently good enough to keep out of trouble. So all in all, 1 kill for TSM, but 2 buffs for the enemy team. And Shyvana gets out with the blue buff, and Lee Sin gets out with the red buff. Although I'm not sure if Lee Sin was the one dying. Yeah, that was indeed the case. So he did give his red buff away, and yeah, the red buff is now on Cassiopeia, which is actually, yeah, a decently big deal. The red buff does proc on the E, so any single target spell will get the red buff, the extra damage, the extra true damage, as well as the slow. And for Cassiopeia, that can be a big boon, because if she can slow people with her attacks, then she can hold them in her poison longer, which means that she can do more damage, and with more damage comes, well, a bigger chance of killing someone, obviously. But Galio by now will have plenty of magic resist. He bought a Negatron cloak there, as well as the blasting wand, which means that he is probably going to go for the abyssal scepter. And yeah, we see the power cord coming out from Sona, but it was the green power cord, so it didn't really do anything. Only the blue power cord does sufficient damage to actually make that worth it. The other one the other ones just do normal damage, and then instead of well, they do apply some effect, but yeah, the green one applies an effect similar to that of exhaust. And stealing the big raid once again. So Sivana is still the counter jungler, it seems, and she's just playing the top lane as well. Because, well, you don't really need to be in the jungle to counter jungle. There is no reason to be there. So this TSM team now in some trouble because this is the second dragon and they might lose it again. There's one guy split off from both teams. It is Kog'Maw in the bottom lane here. In the Irelia is split off from the blue team, and she is hanging around at the raids. She's now going to join up with her team, and they are now going to be able to go in here as a 5v4. Kog'Maw is still out of this fight. Yeah, he is coming to squaddle in. But nothing is going to come from this, it seems. There are 2 pink wards and a normal ward, so 2 green wards out for the purple team, and it seems that even though they invested heavily in this, they are still going to, well, the TSM team still doesn't invest anything in this. And wow, they are going to pick up Dragon. I'm not sure who picked it up. Pretty sure TSM picked it up, because now all of a sudden the gold differences are equal. But M5 is going to, well, kill everyone. They're going to kill 3 champions for that Dragon. And yeah, the gold difference is now about 1k. So 1000 gold difference, which isn't too big of a deal at 23k gold, but still it is plenty. Oh, it's about 1.5k, never mind. 1.5k, which is about the same amount as it was. But yeah, you saw the aggression coming out from TSM by trying to steal that dragon, and then, well, counter aggression from Moscow 5 because they didn't want to lose dragon for nothing. I might be wrong on who got the dragon. I wish there would be a counter somewhere, because there is a counter for turrets for some reason, even though you can see that clearly on the minimap. And there is not a counter for barons and dragons, but barons are kind of easy to spot who gets them. The dragons are a lot harder to spot because, well, you guys, you can watch whatever you want because, well, you can rewind the video if you want to. But I only get one shot at seeing this, so I miss it quite often. And yeah, the little 190 gold really doesn't mean anything, because with all the effects going off and with all the kills going off in the subsequent seconds, it really doesn't mean that I actually see who gets the 190 gold, because everyone is jumbled together. And yeah, I have to read it from the total gold normally, because, well, unless it's only one team that gets the dragon, but in this case I really don't know. Yeah, well, just from seeing the smites, Lee Sin still has his smite up, whereas Skarner didn't have his smite up, so that's why I'm assuming that Skarner actually got it. Which would mean TSM got the dragon, the second dragon, the first one obviously going to Moscow 5. And yeah, well, that's a good deal. I mean, it's a shame they lost 3-4-0 in the next team fight, or in the team fight following that smite steal. But still, it is yeah, it is good for them that they actually tried something, and it might have worked out. And yeah, in this case it didn't, but well, you have to try something, I guess. So Sona getting out at very low life, almost getting killed by the ultimate there from Kog'Maw. And Lee Sin getting caught here trying to steal the blue buff. And there is no real result from that. So Kog'Maw really aggressive here in bottom lane, passing the turret even to get some damage done. But yeah, not really gaining anything from that, except, well, taking a few tower shots. But at this point it doesn't really matter whether he takes tower shots or not. He has lifesteal and he has plenty of damage to make sure that that doesn't really matter at all. So top turret gets killed. Irelia gets killed as well because of a nice gank of the jungler. And a flash ultimate here from Galio, but Cassiopeia is going to be able to stay alive, yep, and actually do quite a lot of damage. I mean, if you play good Cassiopeia, she can kite your opponent, the opponents pretty well, and unfortunately for Galio, there was no backup for him. He might have been able to kill her if he was a little more patient, did one more skill before his ultimate or something like that. On the other hand, maybe Cassiopeia would have gone back then. And this was a decent chance of him to kill her. But Cassiopeia doing a good job of staying alive. Obviously Galio's skills are, well, all but one are skill shots. So they are hard to land, and a nice slow from Kog'Maw there, making sure that he can get out of that. Score is now 2-8. There is a 4.8k difference, and yeah, Moscow 5 is running away with this match, it seems. It was kind of my prediction, to be honest, that Moscow 5 would be winning this because they are way more aggressive, and yeah, nobody knows how to deal with the aggression because it's not the normal meta game. It's not how the game is normally played. And with all of this aggression, also with all of these pink wards everywhere, it is really hard for the TSM team to stay in this, to do their thing and not get zoned out, because that is what's happening at this moment. Oh, a nice flash ultimate there and an immediate kill on Kog'Maw. But yeah, some counter jungling immediately following that, since they know where the entire team is. It seems that they are going for Dragon here, but the enemy team, no, they're not going for Baron. There is still a ward up from the blue team. But yeah, with all of the pink wards that have been played at Dragon normally, I would think that the Moscow 5 would have vision over everything, but apparently no wards at Dragon at this moment. Oh, they're going to lose a blue buff again? Who got it? Come on, Skarner didn't get it. So, once again, the counter jungling power from Shyvana, and they are now going for Baron. There is a ward out for the blue team. Yeah, they can see it. So I wonder if they're going to be able to run in here. The Skarner ultimate has been used. I'm not sure about the cooldown on that. It seems that it is still going to take several seconds to come up. So yeah, it's not going to matter. With the jungler down, this is going to be an easy Baron. And yeah, they have so many wards out, they can see everyone coming, they can see that Graves is on the other side. And Graves is going to kill this Galio. And yeah, there we go. It is unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it is, in the end, it is Cassiopeia who kills him. But it was mostly the Graves damage that got him there. So Graves gets out. TSM got 2 kills for that Baron. Baron does go to Moscow 5. Oh, Cassiopeia. Yes, she does get the kill there. But does she have the flash? No, she does not. And yeah, so they trade 1 for 1. Which was the best outcome they could have wished for, seeing that Reginald was at 0 health. And are they actually going to pick up this kill, or was this a big mistake? This was a big mistake. And ooh, almost getting the double kill there. But just not managing to do so. The tower damage apparently just a little bit too much to risk that. But yeah, that was very unfortunate. The blue team gets a little lucky with their top lane, which is going to push into the turret in a few seconds. But it seems that Shyvana is going to pick that up, and with her AoE skills, she will not have any problems with the minions there. Not turning on her AoE skill. She might have used it previously to get there. I mean, it does give you a movement speed buff, so getting the big raid there with the smite, and they are going to kill all of the raids here, just to get the extra gold. Yeah, killing the ward in the bush with his oracle's elixir, and then using the Shurelias to get out, to make sure he gets out. Because yeah, if you're killing a ward, you know that the enemy can see you. And yeah, he gets out safely, and the Shurelias will be back in a minute, which shouldn't be a problem for now. There should be plenty of time left before the next team fight. So Shurelias is one of the the standard items nowadays, and interestingly enough, the Sona hasn't built hers yet. She has a Chalice of Harmony, which is interesting to see. I've never seen that on Sona, but it makes sense because she's really mana hungry, and you can really get a lot of mana regen from that. Obviously, it is also a costly item for what it does, and if you can avoid taking it, that would be awesome. So immediately taking out the stunner here, come on, what's it called? Tarek. And yeah, that really didn't matter too much. The purple team is still going to dominate this fight, and they may actually get an ace here. Wow, nicely done. That's a 5 for 3 trade. It's now 17-8, and it's a 9k gold difference. So indeed, we see the aggression coming out from the Russian team once more. And yes, everyone has been saying this is America versus Russia. But yeah, well. Yeah, that really doesn't matter to me. I mean, these are just two great teams, and it was always going to be a European versus American final. So Moscow 5 has been dominating this tournament, and I am assuming they will be dominating this finals. And yeah, so far 30 minutes in, it's pretty much time to surrender for the TSM team. They have 1 turret against 6, and well, they do have 1 dragon up, I guess. And it is not over. It's not like, yeah, they're really completely lost this, but still, who got it? I think the purple team got it, and I'm not sure. They got some gold at least, but there may also have been one of the small minions. Cannot actually see who has it. It seems that none of these 3 have it, and if someone stole it, it's either Galio or the Lee Sin. So it seems at least the blue buff goes to the blue team, but the dragon then goes to the purple team. So yeah, well, that's a good trade, I would say. They seem to be in the right place at the right time all the time, so they must have, well, some really nice reminders in the chat or something like that. But yeah, well, we cannot really see that. And the jungler, at least very experienced at stealing multiple buffs and keeping track of everything. And this Shyvana, it has been amazing this game. She has been stealing the blue buff and the wolves and everything she could get her hands on. And I'm not sure if she's actually outlaning the Irelia now. It's 203 versus 256, so yeah, I would say that she has a slight advantage there. 50 minion different, that is actually a really big deal. I was wondering why she was so strong. Because she doesn't die anymore. So mid lane has been 186 versus 261. That is amazing. That's an 80 minion difference. And then bottom lane is 239 versus who is bottom lane? Oh, Kokma. So 243 now versus 247. So they pretty much drew equal. Yeah, it's just a matter of that, well, top lane and mid lane lost. And Skarner and Lee Sin both have the same amount of minion kills. Lee Sin does have 2 more kills and 8 more assists. But yeah, you automatically get more assists if there are more kills on the team. And Moscow 5 now taking Baron. Uncontested, there is no ward out for the blue team. Yeah, basically it's like they gave up. All of the wards on the map seem to be purple, and yeah, there might be some wards taken out because of the oracles, but that should never be a reason to stop putting out wards. And I think that after a tournament like this, they should really consider nerfing Oracle or even removing Oracles and just sticking with pink wards. I think that's much fairer, because Oracles on a tanky champion like Galio or like Udyr is just too hard to deal with if you're already behind, and you can never come back in this game with it. So I think Oracles should be nerfed a little. Well, actually, I think it should be removed. I think it's no good to be able to pick off all of the wards on the map on a champion that's never going to be focused in a team fight and that is never going to die, basically. So lots and lots of damage going off on this purple team now, but the purple team still didn't die, and Galio does die eventually. But yeah, the purple team is going to pick up at least, well, 4 kills now. And it is going to be 5. There we go. So getting an ace for 1 kill, and that kill was Galio. And as I said, yeah, Galio did have the oracles, and he's not going to die. Well, he did die, but the price you pay for focusing someone like Galio is enormous. It is always enormous. It always will be enormous, because, well, that's just the way it is. If you focus a tank, then you're going to spend so much damage on killing them that you have no damage left for the rest of the team, and you're going to lose the game. And that's exactly what happened here. So an easy victory for the Moscow 5 team. The start was a little bit rocky because they decided to go Shyvana in top lane instead of in the jungle, which meant that Lee Sin should have done the counter jungling, but up to points that didn't work at all, and then Shyvana kind of got fed and decided, well, let's go counter jungling from now on, and she stole plenty of buffs, plenty of things from the enemy jungle, and there was nothing TSM could do about that. So all in all, there was a well-played match from both teams, but the better team definitely won, and that was Moscow 5. So hopefully we will see some different play in, or well, some more inspired play in the next round, because I'm hoping that they will actually figure out something to do against this counter jungling strategy, and hopefully they will ban Shyvana and Gangplank, because this team is just too strong. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. GG.